What's up, people? Today we're doing an Acer Chromebook teardown. I got this one from my school. It's called Shattered, and they gave it to me because I wanted to tear it down and learn more about it, because this is the majority of our school's Chromebooks right now, and I do a lot of repairs on those. So if I tear it down, I can know more about it, because these warranties are out, which is why I can do this. And they started the Chromebook repair. I'm going to keep some music in the background because this is going to take a while, and it would be weird if it's just complete silence. I'm going to keep only game chops because he has it to where I can use it, his copyright license, to where it's used for commercial purposes. I thought that was this one. Coulda swore copyright. Was on this one for commercial use. I don't know if they took it down. Anyways, we're just gonna keep doing this because I believe his are for commercial use. I hope they are. Anyways, I'll just keep using game chops. And this one's about over. It'll go over to Zelda 2, and then when that one's over, I have to skip it. Because I don't want copyright stuff and ads to be played on mine right now. Not until I'm partner. Anyways, let's get into it. Sorry for all the dirt, not best quality, and all the junk I have on my table. I do a lot of repairs. That's a shattered phone that I found on the thing. Trying to get it to repaired and to where I can find it for somebody. To where I can probably need to charge it. It's probably good now. All the water's out of it. And get it back to them, hopefully. It's been a little bit though. But let's get into this. First things first, we gotta flip her upside down. I need a place to put all the screws. 1 second. And we're back. So, play the music. I got Tupperware. I don't think I'll need this many, but this is a just in case, so I don't have to go back and do it. For now, we'll put the Tupperware, so much shit on my desk, over here. Take this one. These, I should probably explain, are going to be used for the screws. Because I don't know if they put a bunch of different screws in them. It's been a little bit since I had to do this. Let me go fix that. Alright, since I had to fix these, so try and get this centered a little bit. Okay, let's get these. Let's get a screwdriver. I think these are, if I remember, they're the 3mm. I'm just gotta find that one. There it is. Alright. Then for ease of use, we'll take a magnifier, rub this in here like this, just a bunch of times. Put that off to the side. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit because I need to get my arm under this. Yeah, you guys can hear me over that. Just I'm gonna put that on the second screen so I can have. What? Where is it at? Here it's at. So I can keep an eye on that. Okay. We're just taking this back screws off of this, and then I'll pause the recording so I don't have to upload so much, and so it's easier. It's more like editing and cutting this, but I don't have to edit. So be back when this is all done. Okay, so I should probably be a little bit more clear about this. You don't need a magnetizer. You can, look here, let me demagnetize it just to show you. So again, that magnetizer is only for ease of use. This isn't magnetized anymore. And that's just to make it easier. You don't need it. See, like the screw, I'll unscrew it. It's not coming out because it's not magnetized. You can just pull it out with your fingers. It doesn't matter. If you're watching this for a tutorial. Now, after we're done with all the screws, which I am, there's no more screws here. All of these screws here have been taken out. There's no hidden screws. That's the fun thing about not Nintendo or Apple or anything. They usually like to hide screws. I like to take, usually, sometimes we can go from over by a hinge here. You can tell this is my school Chromebook. It's not mine. It is a school Chromebook though, but its warranty's out, so they don't really care about it. And it's so-called shattered. Pretty sure just the screen needs replaced, and that fixes it, but that's it. Now, if we can't just lift, I'm trying. Okay, I make this mistake quite often. There's this gray part here. I'm trying to lift at this part or pick at that. No, this entire thing comes off. So like here. See, this entire gray part is the part that comes off. So lift at that gray part. I keep making that mistake. I don't know why I keep making that mistake. And then you just keep pulling at different parts. You'll hear a pop. That's normal. So now we have the back off. There's nothing special on here. That's where the pin's held. This guy lost his pin. It's not in there anymore. So you don't need to take the pin out because it's held in the case. Not the
poetry of stillness.
There's an ad. Hold on. There's this that holds it in there. This. Keep forgetting to look at the camera.
Every day is perfect.
Nope, there's still an ad. Okay. All these are just stickers to help keep them in there. That's it. This battery, we've had problems with the not charging thing and it like diffusing out of that. Let's start this from the beginning. So we've had it to just where we could, if it's not charging, try unplugging these. I'll show you by literally just taking this. Oh wait, no, it's literally, I think it's just pulling it out. That's what it is. These are just pulled out. No? It should be. If I remember correctly, these are just pulled out. And they're annoying to get to, but I do believe that they're just, oh wait, no. Okay, so these back things, these black things back here, they lift up. Like that. Here, let me get, like you can take a flathead screwdriver and pop it up right there. like that, and then they come out. So just try unplugging both of these if you're having charging problems. We've had that happen before where there was something wrong with this, and like this was bent. My theory is the pin inside of this, because it's a type C. Here, let's try and get a look. It's not wanting to focus, but this pin here that's in between this. Sorry for it not focusing. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. But this pin here was like pushed up against the metal part, and I think it was diffusing, so it was going directly out of that, so it wouldn't charge. So all I really did, there's glue on here, by the way, not on this one, but usually there is. So all I did was just unplug that. I kept this in here to keep dust from getting in, but I just unplugged it. That's it. You could take this out, order a new one if you wanted to. You could probably order a new one, which we'll get to that part. I'm not going to put chapters in this because I don't know what any of these parts are called. But you can probably look on here and look for the part numbers and stuff. Order a new one and replace it, and you should be able to plug it back in and it'll charge again if that's the problem you're running across. We've had that problem before. It was cheaper to just only have to use this side. You just had to remember only this side could be used unless you wanted to pay and get this replaced and order a new one of these to get it replaced. But it works perfectly fine. You just have to remember you can only go from one side, which we have a Dell one that only works on one side, so it doesn't have this, so we don't worry about that. Anyways, let's continue taking this apart. First things first, before you mess with anything, I forgot to mention this. Shouldn't have done that, but it was probably fine because this battery's probably completely depleted. But you need to unplug the battery before you touch anything. I like to keep this sticker on this cord so I don't lose the sticker, because a simple little bump could cause this to fall out, which is why the sticker's there. It's more of tape. And then you could even pull it off with your fingernails. I'm just using this to help point out, because yeah, you just take from both sides, unplug it, just unplug the battery. If you wanted to get it out, and we're doing that because it's a teardown, we're going to take it out. But you don't need to. If you're trying to repair anything, you just need to unplug it. That's it. Just leave it like this. Unless the part you're trying to get to is under the battery. Then you can take it out. Or you had to flip it upside down because these batteries aren't held in. But for some reason they have the holes like they are going to be held in. They're not. We'll set that off to the side for now. Alright. These are, of course, speakers. I am taking some of this stuff apart for the very first time. But I'm very good at figuring out how to take stuff apart. Very good. So, what we'll start with right here is the mouse pad, FYI. This is the line connecting the mouse pad. The touchpad. Touchpad's not working. Check these connections. If those connections are completely plugged in, like you can push it in. And I believe there's actually a flap there. Flip those up. Is it? I'm gonna get tweezers so you guys can actually see what I'm doing instead of my fingers being in the way. I'm gonna take it and pull it Okay, so there's when I apply some pressure and it's not coming right out, like quite a bit of pressure and it's not coming out, that means that these are being held down with a flap, like these ribbons over here were. So that means you get this black part, it's most of the time this black part, get underneath it and flip it up. So it's over here too probably. This is covered by a sticker right now. If both, so check the connections by like unplugging it, flipping it, unplugging it, putting it back in, flipping it back down. Both sides, just to be sure and you know how to come back and do this. If that doesn't work, probably replace the touchpad or take it to a professional, see what they can do. Again, probably should mention this at the beginning of the video. I am not a professional. This is a hobby that I like to do a lot. I like to take things apart and figure out how they work. So if you're looking for professional help, go to a different YouTube channel. Go do a different video. If you can't find any video, so sorry if you're looking for professional help and there's nobody covering this. You might as well just take it to a professional. But I most of the time figure out what's wrong with it, which I either don't have the tools or the stuff to replace it in my cases that I've had at school. Like I can't replace it because can't fix it because it's either needs replaced or something else. But that's something a pro needs to do. I most of the time figure it out, or sometimes I think because I don't have time. That was only like in between classes and during lunch and all that. So I'm gonna stop talking and actually continue taking this apart. First, we'll keep these attached to this motherboard and take this off. So first things first, we need most of the screws in here are 3 by 30 millimeters. That's what most of them are. There are some that are smaller, I'm gonna guess. Haven't ran into any, but you know, knowing computer things, it probably is. See, since I know that these are different because they hold the thing down, so I'm gonna put these off to the side for now. You can put it with it to remember it. I know that those are. And then I'm going to get another one to put all these screws in. I think all these internal screws are the same. If you run across any that don't look the same, I'm going to magnetize this. That don't look the same, put them in a different thing and put it next to whatever you're having. But I think all of these ones are almost the same. Like these here are, you can tell their heads are smaller than what's here. Like, that's about it though. Yeah, that's all I see, is like those two. Anyways, magnetize this to make it easier. Again, magnetizer, it helps a lot, but it's not needed. You don't need it to be magnetic. I mean, heck, if you wanted it to be magnetic, you can do what I did for the longest time, and was literally just take some small magnets that you buy at like the store, put them, boop, it's all of a sudden now magnetized, because this magnet runs across this entire thing here. This is how I would magnetize screws before I had the magnetizer. But this, it might work if you rub it on here, but I like to just keep it on there, and like you can vary magnetizing strengths depending on how far it is from the tip. Get too close, the screw will go onto the magnet though. I do like the magnets because if I wanted to, I could have them be held on the magnet until I needed them again. I might use some magnets to hold tiny screws like that, because most of these are the same and it's literally just two screws that are different. So I'll take the magnet and just put it like there and keep these magnets in there because all these magnets are the same. We needed to take this one off because it was holding that down. I'll figure that out what it is soon. I think that is a part of the hinge though. It's a part of the lock that they put on too. So like just pull that up a little bit because that's a part of the hinge right there to be able to take this off. First though, you do have to, again, you don't need tweezers to do this. I'm doing this so you guys can see. You can literally pull it out with your hands if you wanted to, just so you guys can't see what I'm doing when I do this. So I use tweezers. So this one is just pulling it out. If I'm gonna take off my glasses. I'm not gaming, they're gaming glasses. Anyways. Yeah, that one you just pulled off. We can set this to the side. If you wanted to, you could take these ribbons, put it on there so you don't have as much stuff on your motherboard. Actually, I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, if you're doing what I did, be sure the DB part goes in here and the MB part goes to the motherboard if you're putting it back together. This DB probably is an abbreviation for what it's called. I just don't care to figure out what this is called. But I'm going to keep these ribbons with it because ribbons go with certain things and it's just less hectic if I don't keep it on there. Now a lot of this stuff is glued down, but we don't need to glue. It's just there to make it better. Now if yours is an older version like mine, it'll have a Wi-Fi card. Like Wi-Fi cards somewhat, because if the Wi-Fi goes out, it's that's problem, which we have a lot of it happen. Which we have Wi-Fi cards. We take it out and we just replace it back. But you take it out by taking off these two pins here and unscrewing that screw. See, this is the same thing as this screw, it's just a different color. It's the same length and everything. Is it? It might be a little bit shorter. Let me check. Okay, so never mind what I said. This one is longer. So, as long as you remember that the black one, because there's not very many black ones on here, goes to your Wi-Fi card, you should be fine. And continuing it, that's it. You pull it out, and that's it. But this doesn't have a hole on it, so I can't really put it there. So as long as I remember the black one, which is a good thing I'm recording it, is the Wi-Fi card, I should be fine. Set the Wi-Fi card to the side. Be sure not to bend it or anything and break it or stuff, or else your Wi-Fi won't work. So right now I'm going to work on taking out the motherboard. And then that'll be all for the interior part. So like, I want to try and keep the glue on here as much as possible, so I'm only going to unplug it. It's like this, it's going to stay here. Like, it's glued all the way around this part. So like, I'm going to lift up this. I like to leave things, make it look like it was never taken out, never messed with. I try to do that, but it doesn't work most of the time. So I'll take this part. Looks like he lost a screw there. Or maybe he hasn't, I don't know. Oh yeah, this was definitely taken apart before. This one we did use for scrap parts, but this is the one that's not missing like any parts. I made sure of that. I got that one and the Dell one that wasn't missing any parts. There was some that were missing like a touchpad and stuff. This one looks like it's missing screws because there's supposed to be a screw here, 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 and here. But it's not there. The only thing holding this motherboard on is these two screws. Which I guess is the minimum amount that you would need. Because like it's not wobbling around much. There's also this one. But without this one and this one, the hinge wouldn't really work. You would probably break it if you tried to open it. But anyways, yeah, that one you just pull out. This one, we tested it before, we can't just pull it out. So we're gonna lift this up a little bit and pull this up. Oh no, it's this white part, okay. And then we pull that out. And stick it under the motherboard if we wanted to, but we don't want to. So be careful because like, if you're trying to take the motherboard out, these are usually glued down or hard to get back out from under the motherboard if you put it down over it. But that doesn't happen. It happens quite often to me. You just gotta remember. This, I believe, usually they say on this. Okay, that's the G sensor. I think that's realizing if it's open or not. I think that's that's what it is. Like, if it's closed, sleep kind of thing. Shut off the display if it's closed. This, you can just pull it out, but there's tape on it. So let me just pull this tape off. There. Now, this might look easy on a short video for a teardown, but we still have to get the screen out and all that. Not an easy task to do. I've tried to do it. Messy task, that's for sure. Wire-wise, it's a messy task. This one goes, I don't know where it goes. Let's see what it says. Okay, I can't figure out what it is, but once we follow the cord, we might know a little more. So I'm just gonna lift this up a little bit, but keep the tape on the main part so it'll stay there, and then we'll unplug it by pulling at this white part on both sides. Usually that's what you want to do. Sometimes you can pull there at the cord. That's a dangerous, somewhat, quote, dangerous thing to do, because you could pull, if it's not one that's meant to be pulled out like that, it's going to hurt the cords. 1 second. Alright. Next up, this is the mic cord right here. This is mic. It'll say it on this. It says mic cable. So that's the mic. That'll check the connection if your mic isn't working. We're going to check the connection on the other side next. I do believe this one also, we just pull at that cord and it comes off. This, I don't like it because it's glued onto the motherboard right here. So in order to get the motherboard out, we have to take this off. I don't like that because I don't have adhesive to put it back on, which annoys me because I can't make it look like it never happened because the adhesive's off. Then this one, we just take this black part and flip it up, and then you can just pull that out. I think that's this. This is the screen. Like, that's screen display, because that's a pretty big thing. This one is speakers. Maybe if you're asking about this speaker, which is the right speaker, when it's flipped up right, it's the right speaker. It's connected in the same spot, but if you look here, move that. If you look here, there's a cord coming off the bottom that's connecting the two. And now I have adhesive on my tweezers, and it keeps sticking to each other. And this is just annoying. But anyways, this one is just a pull right here. You just take your nails, boop, at those sides. And then this is also, hate it, but it's taped to the motherboard. These aren't held down with screws, and as an FYI, so be careful with them. This, I believe, is the keyboard, which is the last big thing that we have to take off. So this is the keyboard. Keyboard's not working, check this connection. Bend it back a little bit, and then all that's holding it up. This is actually really weird. All that's holding it, this is different from all the others. It's pulling this down towards it, and then you can pull it out. See, that's the weird thing. It's not a lift up or anything. You have to pull it down towards it. Pull it this way from both sides with your nails. I do believe everything is unplugged. So now we just gotta take the screws off. Let's see if these screws are the same as the other ones on the hinge. Which I put on this magnet. Yeah, they're the same height. So they're the same. So we can put them on there. Don't need to worry about it. Oh, I can see that this one is just spinning here, and it's not wanting to come up. So I can probably just pull it up. If I can't, it's tripped, and I might have to do some troubleshooting with this part. I do believe this one causes me trouble quite often when I try to take it apart. There, I have to apply a lot of pressure to it. I'm just gonna put this on this magnet there, because it's the same thing. And then we can just lift it up. I don't want to hurt myself, so I was trying to use something other than my nails. To lift it up. But it doesn't want to there it goes. There. Okay. Now we need to take out these middle screws. Then let's compare this to this one to check their height, see if they're the same screw. Right, they're the same screw, so we can put that in there and not have to worry about it. And now, after you take out all of the screws that are on here, I can't remember if there are screws along here, but after you take out all those screws and unplug everything, you should be able to lift that motherboard right out. There's a little bit of cooling paste or stuff right there. That's fine for that. We can put that back on, because that's just like a it's not cooling paste, it's not thermal paste, it's a thermal pad. It can easily be put back on that sink right there. Don't worry about that. These are all capacitors and stuff. If you know computer stuff, you know what they are, and we don't have to worry about them. Oh, we set that to the side. Thank you, Thunder. Alright. I know Thunder. As you can tell, he's the mod. He's a mod. He's an IRL friend. Anyways, we're gonna continue breaking this down. Yeah, see, that goes up to the keyboard. That's really all. But in order to get this mouse pad off, which I think we'll work on next, we have to unscrew this part. I think these are different lengths. Yeah, okay, I can clearly tell the difference. They're a big difference, so I'm going to put them in the same thing, because unlike that, I can't remember where they go. I remember those are to the brackets here, to the hinges. I'm going to take a... Alright, see you in like 20 minutes. Alright, and then after that we have to take... Most of this is intuitive, like this is the first time I'm taking off the touchpad. And then we have to pop up, what is it? Which one was it? This white one or this black one? It's the black one. And then we take that off. Pull that off. I'm gonna use the tweezers so you guys can see. Pull that out like that. And then this touchpad, once that sticker comes off, should just fall right out. Oh, there's a sticker right there too, didn't realize that. Yep, and then that's what touchpad looks like outside of a computer. What you guys think? And then what was a genius idea? It's to add these. These just give you the clicking thing. Like, that's it. There's no clicking there. It's just you pressing down on that. Like, it's literally just that button. It's feeling you press down because there's no sensors here, right? Yeah, there's no sensors here. So it knows that you press that, which is why if you just tap it, it also works. But people like to be able to push a button. So that's why they added these to help spring back and give a clicking sound too. That's really cool of them to do that. Smart. They also, people who are going fast, touch still works as a click. Instead of you having to push down to get it, you can touch it and it still works. Anyways, we'll put that off to the side like everything else. There's nothing, well, I guess if we wanted to do a complete teardown, we would have to take these off. Just remember left and right stuff, but really you can clearly tell which ones these go. There's only one way that these could fit. Like, they can't fit this way. I mean, they can. No, they can't. Because, like, it can't even reach from one side to another. And they can't go upside down or anything. Because they're speakers. Also, you might feel a pull from the magnet inside of the speaker up against this. Don't worry about that. We'll put that to the side again. Most of the stuff we're going to put to the side. And these wires here go up to the screen, which we're going to worry about now. Because we can take this G sensor and this Wi-Fi card out of that part. And now there's your keyboard. And for people on this one, camera. Remember, it will change between everything. It will change, all of your stuff will change depending on what you're on and what you have. Try to find one that has a thing. These, I do believe, are sensors. So be sure those don't get dirty. Sorry. I do believe these other stickers were sensors and stuff, so be sure they don't get dirty. 1 second. Alright, parent came in for a second. So, I would not get those dirty out of precaution, but they honestly don't look like sensors, but like they go to anything, but I can't see anything under this black part. So, I don't know. I would try to not get those dirty as a just in case. So, I'm going to set that to the side. Now we have our screen. Oh, look at that. Can you guys see that? Shit. Can you guys see that? This part right here, you can see that part. Man, I had to be careful here if I want to keep my face hidden. God dang. Camera, microphone, we already all did that. But what we need to do is pry this open. You see that part right there? That's the part that holds all the stuff there. If you have a pry tool, you can do that. I right now don't have a pry tool, so I'm just taking a flathead screwdriver it doesn't have to be anything fancy either. Like, I can use. 1 second. Again, parent came in. I don't have my other flatheads in here right now, but I usually have one, but this is one school gave me. And they have a lot better stuff for like, that's the toolbox that they let me use, because they aren't gonna use it. Okay, that one's over. I have to skip over this. There might be an ad. Alright, so just take a flathead screwdriver, go again like we did last time, go by a hinge, like to go by an edge next, because it makes it easier. That's just it. Gonna start this one over. Okay, and then once you have it like popped open, you can, if you want to, you have to be careful, because like I did there with doing that, it popped it back into place. So you can keep going like this, but eventually if you get to enough, you might be able to just get your finger in there and start doing it with your finger instead, if you get enough space. So you just gotta keep doing that all the way around, and I'll see you when I'm done with that. Here's a hint. Go down, because especially over here, so you try and go up, these hinges are connected to this back part, not the screen. So you want to try and push that screen down so you can actually get it to pry off correctly. So that's a little hint. See you when I'm done. Alright, ran into a few things. When you, that getting enough space part has to be like at least half of it to do it. And be sure that your hinges here aren't blocking your screen to fall down. So you need to pull those hinges out so it can actually come off. And now it should come off like that. That's what it looks like. It's attaching to those magnets there. Yeah, not much. It's just the back of it. I think there's some heat sinks and stuff. These are where all the wires go. This is the G sensor, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, G sensor, so that's attached to up here. This is the Wi-Fi cable, which it only goes up here to get reception up here. No, the G sensor is over here. Scratch that. G sensor is over here. Wi-Fi goes up. Sorry, you guys can't see. Wi-Fi goes up here to get antennas. That's where all those go. G sensor is this little bitty thing right here that senses if it's open or shut, basically. I'm going to put the screen to the side. We'll get to that in a second, see if there's anything on that. So that's a crap to do this here, to take apart these wires. I'm not going to do that, especially since I don't have a solderer. I can't put this back, can't put Wi-Fi back. So, but we are going to take off this G sensor though, because it's not too bad of a thing. I think this is just a pull. Yeah, and then is this okay? It's glued on there. I don't have adhesive to put it back on, and that's just going to mess everything up. So unless you have adhesive to put back on this, like safe adhesive for electronics and motherboards built for it, don't take that off. You can, of course, buy it online anywhere. I just don't want to because I don't need it. I'm going to unplug it though. And I really don't like putting wires back through this. Putting wires back through this is a piece of crap. I've had to do that before. Anyways, so this is just the back. There's not much on it. But once we get to here with the LCD screen, then it gets a lot more. There's a lot more happening because it's a screen. Now, this plug I said was a screen, which it is. It goes to the screen, this thing. If you manage to take this off, use gloves. Because if this is an LCD screen like I think it is, you put a fingerprint on that, it's never coming off. So unless you're replacing it, even if you're replacing it, use gloves. Because you put it on an LCD screen, LED screen, anything, just touching a screen bare, use gloves. This is a touch screen, so you're meant to touch it, but it's always glass. Like you take your phone apart and touch the screen bare, that fingerprint's never coming off. So just be careful with that. Oh man, that's a strong adhesive there. We'll go from, I'll try and peel up this side. I'm trying not to break it too much, because again, I like to leave things look like they were never messed with, but that's not possible in a lot of cases. So end up having to knot, and this warranty's out anyway, so it doesn't matter that much about leaving it in the way, because they can realize like you messed with it and you voided the warranty kind of stuff. So again, I'm going to do what I do with all my stuff. I'm going to take it off and put it here. Now this one, in order to take it up, there's this black bar here. You lift that up, and then you could, if I remember doing this correctly, it's just pulling that out after you lift that black bar up. Yeah, there. Or just, I guess, pulling the black bar off too, because it's connected to the wire itself. That's disconnecting the screen. So again, if you're having problems with the screen, check that connection. That's what runs the screen connection. Then I do believe this one that's coming off goes to the camera. Wait, what is that? Wait, where'd the mic come from? What? Is the mic not up here? Is this not mic? Oh, I accidentally flipped down the thing and moving that around. That's the wrong side. The mic is down here. Oh, that's the mic for that one. Okay, so that mic cam earlier, that mic cable earlier was the mic for this camera here. This here looks like the mic and camera. Here is this cable. This seems to be the mic because we follow that to the other side. It's that little hole right there, which is the mic. That little hole right there, which is the mic. Making sure I played that correctly. Not even upload this to YouTube. No one's gonna watch it for 1, 2. I revealed my face too many times. I'm not careful. So we're going to unscrew it. Here, you know what? Let's take this entire cable out. It's already screwed out of the hinge, anyways. Well, whatever. Let's go ahead and take this entire cable out. It's a teardown. Let's do it. Please don't get magnets close to my mouse. So as you can see, it's just those little hooks there. So I'm just pulling them and those, just pulling them off of that. Now we gotta take this off. Your mic's having problems for your top one. Take this off. That'll probably fix all your problems. I'm going to go ahead and get another magnet. Hope it doesn't connect to my keyboard, because I don't know if these are different or not. And that one specifically goes to this. There's no other screws here, as you can see, so I'm just keeping that there. Now, if we wanted to, which we will, because this is a complete teardown, except for those wires that were on those, because I don't like doing that. There's no point. We can unplug it here, but we would need to get this tape. Peel it back. And this is, again, just a pull. Now, be careful, because this is a very teeny tiny thing that we are just going to set to the side. This part here is held down by, I believe, adhesive, or it's just held down by shear force or magnets. Either way, we either just broke it or something else, because there's a little bend right there now. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, it was held down by adhesive. It's fine though. It's not strong adhesive. There's the camera. It's amazing how this is also all one cord connecting all of this. Anything on the screen goes to one cord. That's smart instead of having multiple cords. It's also amazing how they did that too. See this one, again, it's just a pull. I think that's a light sensor. If you were wondering, I think that right there is just a light sensor. Or it helps it focus, one of the two. Now, I know this can come off. I just have to get this sticker off first, because these are like strong adhesives. I'll have to bring this closer to my face to be able to see it at all. You guys can't even see it on there, so it doesn't need it. You guys don't need to see it. So I'm probably going to do this in 2 videos. One tear down, one to put back together. Doing it in one stream though. Depends on what I'm feeling. So yeah, be careful. See, I'm barely touching it. And that's bending. It's not supposed to bend. So if you really wanted to try, you could pick at that and get that sticker off. And then that is just a pull on it. That's it. But I'm not going to worry about that. So I think that's actually all there is. That's it. We could take the screen out, but I would hate to take the screen out and get a fingerprint on it. That would absolutely suck. But I think it's just like peeling these up here to get it out. I would go to a pro for this. It's probably also lifting up this tape. But I would go to a pro for that. And I'm trying to get a job with pros to do it. Yeah, see, that tape's coming off pretty easy. To do this, to learn more about what I need to do. So anyways, if you guys want to know how to put it back together, watch this in reverse. Or go to the video that's linked at, that'll be at the end of the video. That'll be at the end. There'll be a video at the end. Go to that one. There should be actually a video now. That does it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. Crap. Just kidding about the video now. We're gonna take the screen off. I actually have to think this through. Do I want to try and take the screen off and possibly mess this up? I'm gonna think this through a little bit. Okay, I thought it through. Never mind about that. We're not taking the screen off. Not that advanced. So, again, if you want to know how to put this back together, either find a way to play this video in reverse, or there should be a video about like here. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.